I'd like to thank you all for joining us today, and thank Affiliate Summit for approving our submission, and thank the people that voted for our session. This panel is it's not a typical moderator panel. It's going to be a 3-part session, each of us talking about specific things about how to use Facebook advertising, actual how-to, showing you how to do things. So Facebook advertising, a lot of people say Facebook advertising doesn't work, including this tool. This guy is really knowledgeable about science. He is not knowledgeable about Facebook ads. He has a science page and a YouTube channel that has a lot of followers. It's great. But then he complained about Facebook advertising bringing in fake likes from Thailand and all over the world, third world countries, whatnot. But you can target. So he didn't target until he made up a fake page called Virtual Cat, which said, if you're an idiot, you will follow this page, and then he targeted. Well, normal people will not like that type of a page that calls themselves an idiot and has no content, so he again complained about the type of people that were following his page. So he's knowledgeable about science, not Facebook advertising. It'd be like me standing up here teaching you about 5th century Chinese art. I could Google it, but I don't know anything about it. Facebook ads don't work. Here's a few of the surefire ways to make sure that your Facebook ads don't work. Start without a strategy. Don't have a purpose to your ads. Just spend money. Click the buttons to the shortest way possible to get them to approve your PayPal payment. Don't use meaningful targeting. Just go through, spend the money. Don't target the people that buy your products, follow your website already. Use the boost and page promote buttons. That's like John Loomer is a great Facebook advertising resource. He says that the boost and page promote buttons are the gateway drug to Facebook advertising. I thought that was a great line because it's easy to do. It's one click, but your results are horrible. And the number one way to make sure your Facebook ads don't work is to drive clicks and traffic to a page or a website that doesn't convert. So if your website isn't converting already or your landing page isn't converting already, there's no sense in paying for more traffic to something that's broken to start with. Now I'm going to turn it over to Shannon Vogel.
So I'm going to talk a little bit about the different types of ads and the ad locations. If you are an advanced user, this is a good time to take a little nap. If you are a beginner, this is a good time to get a cheat sheet instead of having to go through and push the buttons and try to figure out everything all as a newbie at the same time. So the first type we're going to talk about is post engagement. So if you want your post to be the thing that's promoted, something that you need to consider and think about is if you want to target your current audience with that post, or if you want to do a targeted audience. So if you think about your content, make sure that your content is relevant for your audience. This is an example of a boost post, which we are not fans of, so we're going to roll right past this one. Everybody struggles with getting likes. The number one question I get in my social media business is, how do I get more likes? I have 4, my best friend, my neighbor, my mom, and my dad. Now what do? If you want to get bigger numbers, Facebook advertising is a way to go. I'm going to back up on this one sec. So this is the example at the bottom is just to show you what it looks like. So you can say, click like if you love shoes, click like if you love whatever it is that you sell, and that like page button will be right there for people to quickly like your page. Next is clicks to your website. So if you want someone to go visit your website, whether it be for branding purposes or whatever's on your landing page or whatever's on your home page, you can use this. One thing that I ran across while I was building this, there's a company called Touch of Modern that they're an amazing company and they have all these cool tools and toys and gadgets, but they did an ad driving traffic to their website, to their homepage, but it was about a specific product. So when I got to their page, there was no search button. So I couldn't find the product that they were promoting. So all they did was aggravate me. So they didn't get a sale out of me. So think about why and where you're sending the link. If you want your ad to convert on your website, you can use this for things like checkouts or registrations or things that you want to convert. And this example, while I'm here, I want to show you, because images, you want to keep them simple and clean. And we'll get into that more a little bit later, but this is a good example of a good, clean image. It's going to look good on any device. So if you are going to go down the path of the last example, you're going to have to use a conversion tracking pixel. And that generally freaks everybody out because it sounds really technical and it sounds really hard. It's not hard at all. Facebook walks you through all the steps, and you can either add the code on your site yourself, or they make it very easy for you to send that code to your webmaster, and they will send them the message to give you exactly what you need. So it's not, don't let that be overwhelming to you. Another type is if you want to drive traffic to talk about your app. So if you've built an app and you want people to install that app, that's an option for you. If you want people to do something with that app, then you can choose app engagement. So if you have an app, there are two different types that apply to you. If you have an event that's going on that you need to promote to get actual attendance, this is a choice for you. And if you have a type of offer that you want claimed, this is another option. And one of the things that if you run a Facebook ad, if you try to run one again tomorrow when you leave this class, everything has changed. It's changing every day. One of the things that Facebook just took away is what's called a fan gate. So requiring someone to like your page before they can get the offer, whatever, that's going away. So you may want to redirect, if you like that type of ad, you may want to redirect and do it this way. So video views, this is the last type of ad. If you're going to go to the trouble of putting together an amazing video, a lot of time and effort and energy generally goes into a good video. Why not promote it and get it seen so that all of your hard work actually pays off a little more? This is just to show you, as a reminder, that people are looking at your ads on different devices. So people are looking at your ads on iPhones, on my phone, which we call a phablet, the Note 3, iPads, tablets, computers, everything. So when you're designing your ad, think about it being seen on all of those different devices. And again, that ties back into using a clean, simple image so that it looks good on all those devices, large or small. So now we're going to talk about the different locations. So when people are on a computer, that's the desktop. When you're looking at your newsfeed to see who went out to dinner, who had a baby, who ate a grilled cheese sandwich, mixed into that is your message. So this is a great time to get the memo, to not be spammy, don't be sleazy, don't be pushy, and don't be too salesy. Because when people are looking at their newsfeed and they're seeing who went out to dinner, who had a baby, they're not in a mindset to be sold. So don't punch them in the face with something salesy and pitchy. This is an example to show you what it looks like on mobile. And this is to show you this slide and this slide. It's to show you how much mobile is growing. Always keep in the back of your mind how your ad's going to look and present on mobile, because people are on their phones all the time. So if they're going to see your ad, you want to make sure that it looks good on mobile devices as well. This is an example to show you what ads look like in the sidebar. And we did this presentation like the last day it was due for the deadline, and this has already changed. So if you see something in here that doesn't look the same, Facebook's changing things every day. So because things are changing every day, I was talking to someone in the hall before I came in, and she said, should I try this myself, or should I hire somebody? What should I do? And I'm of the mind, if you don't understand this and this isn't the way your brain works, hire somebody to do it. This costs money, And it's very important, and if you don't know how to do it, I don't want you wasting your money doing it, so consider hiring someone to help you with it, someone that does it every day. And now, on to Miss Ashley.
Thanks. So that was really interesting for me because when I'm doing Facebook ads, I almost always focus on clicks to website or Facebook likes. And I don't think I realized that there was a video views on there, so I'm going to use that now. So clicks to website, I'm just going to run through if I was making an ad, what the default looks like, and then how I change things to do things better than the default, because I think I'm smarter than Facebook. So when you're setting up an ad, you have this option to set up 6 different images. And one of the things that I see businesses do all the time is they leave the default that Facebook puts in there, and it's either a screenshot of your website, or it's the first image on your website, or it's maybe your logo. And unless you have some logo that is extremely well known, then the logo is maybe not the best thing to put in there. And I'm going to show you why in just a minute. Sorry, I realized I said the wrong thing on that last slide. Guys, it's confusing me to have my notes here and look at that side. I'll look here. Okay, so this is what Facebook put on there as the default. And it's fine. It's our tagline. This is one of the companies I work with, is Prosperent, and we run a lot of Facebook ads. And this is what Facebook would set up for me. So it's fine. And I think that most people, when they start doing Facebook ads, they just allow Facebook to do the default. They throw some money into their account or open it up, and this is what it looks like. And it's fine. However, there's a lot of options. So when I say use the 6 different images, I used to go find images, purchase them from Shutterstock, not iStock, purchase them from Shutterstock, and then set up the ad. Shutterstock recently, maybe 9 months ago or so, opened up the ability to use all of their images for free. So when you're setting up a Facebook ad, you have the option to say, you can either upload your own right here. You can use the image library. That means it's going to pull from all your images on Facebook, or you can use stock images. So I go find something that my audience would be interested in, and I test 6 different pictures against each other. So there's tons of studies about what kinds of images do the very best. I tend to find that images with people in them, with babies in them, with images that have humans in them do a lot better than any other kinds of images. So we were watching a Facebook ads video the other day to find out about that because I wanted to see some of the tests, and consistently any photo with cleavage in it does really, really well on Facebook. So Nate's over here making a joke about that. I called you out on the microphone. Okay. So as I'm changing this image, as I work through the ad and I change everything from the default. So I'm going to change the image. I'm going to put 6 different images in there, and Facebook is automatically going to start serving up the ad that is the image that's most successful. So if I put the 6 images in there, nobody's clicking on one ad, but everybody's clicking on image number 3, then Facebook is going to start showing up ad number 3, because they want you to be successful, because they want more of your money, like that. So what I try to think about is when I'm writing my headline right here, I imagine what problem my audience is dealing with. I think, what is their pain point? And I try and answer that pain point right there in the headline. So I never leave my business name there, because nobody knows. The people, I'm going to reverse that statement in just a minute, because we're going to talk about people who do know who you are, but people don't know who you are already. So use your headline to answer the problem that they have, as opposed to your company name, and you're going to see more success. Right here in the text, I describe their problem. So if their problem is they don't have enough money and they want more of it, I would answer that right there. I would describe it. Are you tired of not having enough money? We can help you have more money. So I'm going to describe in this area how I can fix the problem that I just described. So this is going back to figuring out my audience. This is an example of an audience that I was segmenting out, and I literally go through who my customers are, and I draw stick figures of them. So this is a mom, and her problem is she wants more money, and she's worried about money, and she has a mean boss at work, and she's worried about her boss, and she doesn't have enough time, which makes her little kid resent her for going to work. So I think through what the problems are of each of my audience members. With Prosperent, we have segmented out 16 different types of audience members that we want to address, and I set up different ads for each of those 16 different audience members. You're one of them, by the way. Yeah. And we show ads describing their problem, and then we target those individuals on Facebook. So when Nate said, you won't be successful if you're not identifying your audience and targeting them, it's true. But if you do target them, Facebook ads are crazy successful. Oops, that's a laser pointer. So this is my favorite strategy when I'm setting up Facebook ads. The very first thing I do, because all of you have an email collection on your websites, right? Because that's what you're supposed to do. You know that the money is in the list, so you're collecting everybody's email when they come to your website. You can upload that list. So if you have a list of 16,000 people that have visited your website, you can download that into a CVS file, or you can just upload the custom audience from MailChimp if you're using MailChimp. You upload that, and then you can have ads show just to those people. So those people already know who you are. They already like you. They've already given you their email address, so they're really likely to like your Facebook page, to be in communication with you. And those ads typically, when I upload that list, I typically am able to get ads for under a penny a like, because they've already given me information about themselves. So this is just a really great way to have another touch point to communicate with that audience. Just upload that file, and then those ads will show to just those people. So this is just the example of targeting. Facebook targeting is crazy, and if you ever go through it, it's going to kind of freak you out how much they know about you, and I'm going to get into that a little bit more. But you can target on anything. If somebody likes Mickey Mouse, there's probably a way to target them. You can target people who are pregnant. You can target people who just got engaged. You can target people who are going on vacation in 2 weeks and are talking about it on Facebook. So be careful what you write on Facebook. But as an advertiser, this is hugely powerful. So if I am advertising something that has to do with weddings, I'm going to look for people who are engaged. If my subject matter has to do with babies, then I'm going to target people who are pregnant. I can go through all of this. I can go through how much money they make, how much money their household makes. There are so many choices here. So take full advantage of this, and think about those. Going back to Prosperent, those 16 audience members, I would do a different targeting for each one of those audiences. So this was just an example. I wanted to drill down a little bit more and show you can just target moms, you can just target dads, you can just target males and females, you can target by age, you can target by all of these things. And that's a baby who's like, please, for the love, stop targeting my mom because you're making her buy a lot of toys, and I'm tired of them. I wanted to show you just how much further you can continue to drill down. So you can look at women who typically purchase high-ticket apparel and accessories. So if you're selling a pair of Louboutins on your website as an affiliate and you're reviewing those Louboutins, you can choose women who have typically spent that kind of money on those types of items. I had to do another baby picture. This one's actually my baby. She's 8 now, but I was thinking, she's thinking, ooh, this is really creepy how much Facebook knows about me. Doesn't it look like she's thinking that? So when I showed her that this was going to be in our presentation, she's like, I'm famous. She was really excited about it. So this is when I redid the Prosperent ad. So I found when I actually did the Prosperent ad with cash in it, I did a woman throwing cash up in the air, and then I did this one. I was targeting stay-at-home moms who wanted to work from home, who were worried about their child feeling abandoned, and who they felt like they didn't have enough time, and they were tired of their angry boss. So this was for that specific audience persona that I had drawn the little stick figure. And this was our most successful picture. I I would not have guessed that. I would have guessed that something with money in it was, or something with a mom with her little kids was, but this ended up being our most successful picture. So I was just glad that Facebook was showing me that as opposed to trying to figure it out. So again, I addressed their problem and how I could resolve it. And then I tried to talk about their biggest pain point right here. So you can see how that looks different from the default of what Facebook set up for me. I just put them right up next to each other. So if you can imagine, like when Shannon's talking about, these are people who are wanting to see what sandwich nobody wants to know what sandwich you ate. Don't put that on Facebook. These are people who are scanning through and they want to see their friends' vacation pictures and they are relaxing in their slippers. You can see why it's more likely that they'd click on something like this that addresses their pain points than the default that Facebook set up for me. So when you're setting up those ads, think about that targeting. Think about your audience. Set up your targeting. Specify and segment out your audience, and you'll see a huge difference in the success of your Facebook ads. I think you're up, Nate.
Okay, so I mentioned who I was speaking with. I forgot to say who the hell I am. I'm Nate Smith, Coffee Nate. I've been in affiliate marketing since 2008. I spent 13 years in the Michigan State penal system. And, I was an employee. I didn't live there. And I needed a way to escape. So affiliate marketing and online marketing was definitely something that appealed to me because I live in a tiny town and there are no other jobs. So I had to make my own. Seems to be working out okay. Shannon had mentioned fan gating is going away. It's not immediate. It's November 5th, so you have time to adjust, which is something new that Facebook decided to do, is actually give you warning. Okay, I'm not a Facebook fanboy at all. I can't stand them. It's run by a bunch of dicks. And what I am a fan of is a platform that lets me gain access to information and target the right people. So some quick hits. You can create a sales funnel with website custom audiences. You can get a code. It's called a WCA, website custom audience. You get a code, you put it in the head section of your website, and Facebook will dynamically build a list of who visits your website. So if they're logged into Facebook and they navigate to your website, then Facebook will keep track of that person. And you can set it for 1 day to 90 days, depending on the rules that you set. So you have to make a different custom audience for each one. So you can make just a general visit to any page on your website, or you can set it up with different rules. So I want to make a list of people who went to this product page, added it to their cart, but did not check out. I want to send one type of ad to that person and send different ads to different people based on their activity on your website. So when you add that code, it's not going to immediately build that audience for you. It creates it after you put the code in. So make as many rules as you can think of ever wanting. That way that audience is already built for you before you think about running traffic to it. You can expand your reach with lookalike audiences. If your email list is only 2,000 people, then you can build a lookalike list, and Facebook will create an audience that is similar to the one that you already have. Use Facebook automatic bid is actually effective. It's ironic because most things, the more control you have, the better it is for you. But in this instance, I have found that website using Facebook's automatic CPM, is actually more beneficial than bidding manually. You can target only your fans. A lot of people complain about not being able to target just their current fans, that they have to also reach out to friends of fans. But you do that in your connection settings. After you set up your ad, there's a connection section. You can type in, or you can click the radio buttons, only people who are connected to, and then whatever page you have and then that ad will only serve to those people. And if there's anybody that doesn't live in the US, then you lose some functionality. US accounts can also target by make of vehicle, the year of vehicle, the model of vehicle, how long you've had it, what type of vehicle it is. So you can run an ad to 40-year-old people in Detroit who drive a Toyota Sienna that's 3 years old. So that's pretty incredible. Facebook purchases this information from third parties and then associates the email addresses with the people in that database. So in the interest section, when you're building an ad, you can type in interests that people have, fishing, hiking, whatever, but you can also target people, you can target fans of pages. So if you own a coffee company, like I have a page for Coffee Nate, I will find highly engaged coffee pages and target the people that like that page already. So in the interest section, I wouldn't type in Folgers because Folgers has 1.3 million likes. So fans, that's really pretty graphic, but only 174 people like a post. So I don't want those same people on my page. And we're talking about paid stuff because that's what a lot of people are turning to, but there is opportunity for organic reach. The top image is from my Coffee Nate page. That's the highlighted section is when Facebook started changing their algorithms, and there is no paid advertising from that point on. And for 3 years, I was below 6,000 fans for that page, and now I'm above 19,000. So that's totally organic, and the better thing even is organic reach. The organic reach peak that I've highlighted is the smallest peak in the scale, and that was 21,465. So so you notice that 21,465 is greater than 18,447. So to say organic reach is dead is wrong. A lot of the experts say that it's dead because they actually reterm these metrics as being vanity metrics. It's because theirs are gone. So if they're not doing well, then they have to make up a reason. The mystical key to organic reach is that people want to see posts that are educational, entertaining, and evoke emotion. They don't care about how great that you think you are. People using Facebook are on there. They're really possessive about their page. They think that they own their news feed. It's up to them what's on there. And in large part, they can control some of that, but they don't own it, obviously. But in order to, kind of pay the price to be in front of them, to get better conversions and get better interaction, engagement, and to get them as an audience member, if you're paying for that position, is to actually have something that's useful. So if you're just running a commercial at them, they'll hide you or report you as spam, and eventually your account will get closed.
Which has never happened to any of us.
Facebook hates us. You can using Facebook ads to grow your list is a great way to increase your ROI because you make money from your email list. Selling directly on Facebook isn't a thing yet. Someday it may be, but there's not much purchasing directly on Facebook going on. So if you bring people into your list, then it's a much more acceptable way for people to receive marketing messages. So you give them an offer, an ebook, a guide, a coupon. Give them a reason to subscribe to your list. If you do a giveaway, make sure it's something relevant. If you run a fashion blog, probably shouldn't give away fishing tackle. I see everybody wants to give away iPads, but give something away that is directed towards your product and related to your service or your brand. And then create an ad to drive targeted traffic to it. Facebook reporting is quite rich, but the default settings are horrible. It's a bunch of garbage. So you just edit the settings, and there's over 150 different things that you can weed through and pick out what you want in your reports, and then you can schedule it to email it to yourself or to a client every week or whatever you want. They've also added an audience insight tool. Now, Page Insights will give you information about excuse me, how well your posts are going, but this gives you insight into who your audience is made up of. So all the different things that you can target your audience by in an ad. Oh my goodness, I breathed in water. You can segment and see where your current audience lies. So you can do it by Facebook. It does comparison versus Facebook overall. You can compare pages. You can use your page audience, and then you can dial down. And when you have an audience selected, you can then save that audience and then run ads to it. There are 3 different ways that you can manage your Facebook ads. The first way is the page boost and post boosting. That's horrid. The second way is a self-serve ad tool. It makes you feel like you have more control. It's gotten a lot better, and it looks a lot prettier than the Power Editor, but Power Editor is where you get all of the functions when they're developing them. It's a lot of times months before those tools trickle down to the self-serve ad tool. So just this week, Facebook has actually finally allowed you to only serve your ads during certain times of day. So if I want to run ads between 1 p.m. and 2 p.m., I can just run that without having to go and manually pause and unpause the ads. That's only through Power Editor and only if you're using a lifetime budget. And that's what I just talked about. It also gives you the ability to create unpublished page posts to run as an ad only. So instead of creating a post on your page that's going to be visible on your Facebook page, you can create a post and have it only run as an ad and then invisible to your page. Okay, now we have some time for Q&A. If anybody has any questions, please use the microphone so that the people watching in the video will be able to actually hear it.
While the microphone is getting to somebody with questions, I had one thought to add. When Nate was talking about how you can target people who have been to a specific page on your website, you guys know if you go buy something at Home Depot and you check out and you already purchased the product that you were looking at, and then you see those ads on your Facebook page later, Home Depot did have the ability to put a rule in there that if the visitor to their website reached their thank you page, to stop showing the ad to them. So if you're selling something on your website, and you want the ads to stop showing to people who purchased, you can.
So I use ShortStack to manage page tabs, apps, whatever the hell you want to call them now. And I was getting ads every day asking me to join ShortStack and try it for free. Well, I'm already a client. I'm getting sick of seeing this ad every day, so I sent them a message.
And they're spending money on it.
Like, hey, you're wasting money, and I don't want to see it anyway. So they changed it.
So I'd like to know, can we get a raise of hands if you have used Facebook ads before? And keep it up if you feel like your ads were done successfully.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Good.
Okay. Were there, I think there was 2, oh, you have the microphone now? Okay.
Hi, yeah. Sorry. I wanted to ask, you all kind of grinned and smiled and had a little laugh when you spoke about the accounts being banned for when people are...
I don't know anything about that.
A sick grin it was. But kind of when you... is there any kind of general rule of how many kind of people close the ad down or mark it as spam, those kind of guidelines? Or
There are no rules when it comes to Facebook. They do whatever they want. I boosted one post for a client that didn't follow their terms last year, and they shut my account down 2 months ago. So they don't care. Despite repeated warnings, you kept serving this content that was abusive to our users. Like, I've been using your platform for 4 years, and I have not once violated it. And then they went back a year, found one post, and then used that as their reasoning.
Sorry, did you actually receive a warning?
Did I receive a warning?
Yeah.
No. Nope, they just shut me down.
Good luck.
But don't worry, they'll change it tomorrow
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
the next day.
Yeah.
I think you mentioned that you could target people that are going to visit a place in the next 2 weeks, for example.
Right. You can target people who are traveling to a specific region, who are currently traveling, who are planning to travel.
How do you and where do you do that? And under behavior or interest?
Yeah, that's in the Facebook. What's it called now? It's not in the interests. It's 2 slots below. Facebook Actions or something.
I can't remember what the word is, but it's the first drop-down list is is it interests? No,
Interests.
first drop-down is interests, and I think the next one is
Okay.
behaviors. And if you start scrolling down behaviors, then more lists will pop out. So if you scroll down to relationship status, then a new pop-out will come out, and it will talk about non-relationship, engaged. There's all this data, and I think I mistakenly said before it's based on things you've written on Facebook or other pages you've liked. But like Nate mentioned, they're also buying lists. So they have just a just think of the baby going like this. They have a ridiculous amount of information on all of us.
I like also, while I'm thinking about it, I like to use a lookalike audience and then use the audience insights to get a view of what my current audience is into and then target that lookalike audience, but then go deeper, because with a list of 5,000, you'll get 2 million results back if you have it dialed down to the most relevant people. You can slide the scale between relevancy and reach, so you can further dial down that span, because I typically don't like to run ads to 2 million people at once.
And one of the things I meant to add was with the lookalike audiences, when you add your email list, you can choose that audience and create a lookalike audience. So Facebook will analyze the behaviors of the people that you have on your email list, and you can create a lookalike audience for that and target people that are very similar to the people who are already on your list.
Okay.
Question, sorry.
There's other questions.
Thank you. Quick question. What would you recommend in terms of resources, either people, places, sites, blogs, if I'm looking to really up-level my Facebook skills in general?
Facebook skills in general, I don't have a go-to place.
I do.
If it's for, okay. Go ahead.
So I go to Social Media Examiner. I read Mari Smith's page. There's also one that has a fewer likes, but she goes by Grandma Mary, and she's actually an actress that does improv, and she dresses like an old lady and talks about social media. So Grandma Mary, Mari Smith, and John Loomer is our favorite resource on Facebook ads.
And Mari is Mari.
Oh, thank you.
Like Ferrari.
I think, did you have a question?
Yes, I do. Is there a way to, can you add post-transaction or post-conversion offline? Can you add post-transaction, post-conversion offline behaviors to your audience in Facebook? So for example, if a customer converted, but then if they called in and canceled, can you change that behavior that's already established in Facebook as a conversion?
No. Specific to one individual?
If it happens offline, then it's not going to work. You set the rules up based on what pages they visited. So you have your conversion pixel on a success page or your email sign-up confirmation page, that type of thing. But then you wouldn't have a page that you serve them if they called you on the phone.
But if you have a way to track the emails of the people that are calling you on the phone, then you can. So if this is
You can
happening a
manually
lot, what? Yeah, you can manually add the emails.
Is there a way to shut off mobile ads or specific devices?
Yeah, so especially with Power Editor, you can focus on mobile desktop, mobile. You can go by device, you can go by operating system. So if you have an app that you're developed for an iPhone, but you don't have an Android version or vice versa, you can target only those devices if you want, and then shut off your desktop.
Can you do just desktop though?
You can do just desktop, you can do just desktop sidebar, just desktop newsfeed.
Is there a way to exclude like games if you're doing ads?
That's cute.
Jeez. I'm sorry, exclude games? I don't understand.
Is there, yeah, like, I'm worried about, like, clicks when someone's playing a game, like Candy Crush, I don't know, some game in-app ad that Facebook might show that I don't want to get that click. Is there any way to, like, exclude certain apps when you're doing app targeting or?
No, you would, that's if you have an app that you've developed. So if you,
Do you see this?
you'd be promoting your own app.
You see this remove? So if you're setting up an ad and you don't want it to show on the right-hand side. Now, this is a few weeks ago. Both Nate and I would have said, don't use right-hand side ads. They're lame. Nobody clicks on them. But they just changed. So when Shannon had the screenshot, they just changed how they look, and now people are using them more. So I don't turn them off anymore, but every time I set up an ad, I used to remove them right here. But if I only want these images showing to people on their desktop, I don't want to target mobile users, I can hit remove. And if I don't want it showing to desktop people, I just want it showing them on mobile, I can click remove. And if I click on this, it's going to show me what my image looks like, how it appears to people on mobile. So after I put in 6 images, I always go back and check how each of those images are going to look on every place I'm running those ads.
Thank you. Good point. Mobile newsfeed and mobile, well, there's only a newsfeed, is typically cheaper than paying for desktop because everybody wants desktop newsfeed. They think it's the only thing that works, so there's more competition there.
What about accidental clicks? That's what I'm worried about. Fat fingers, touching things.
Well, it's your own targeting, and if you're putting it in front of the right people, there's no accidental clicks.
Wait, you mean on cell phones, people might accidentally click it?
Yeah.
I think it's probably so rare it doesn't matter that much.
Did you have that happen? Do you feel like?
I've had people mention it in the past.
Ah.
It's a legitimate
Concern.
When your account was banned, what did you do to get it restored? And also,
My wife
what-
became a Facebook advertising expert.
I see. What were you spending on Facebook when they banned it, and would that have any bearing on whether or not they do ban you?
No, they don't care. Unless I'm in the millions, they don't care.
So the actual situation was he was sending an ad to a website, one of his clients, and there was something in the website that suggested they had something to do with gambling. So one of their policies is that you can't send ads to a site with gambling, but it was something small on the site, not right.
It was a
Well,
site
it was
about
actually
checks.
a promoted post. It didn't even go to a site. It wasn't a link. So
And it was about checks, not gambling.
Checks, but
that's the one that they put the notice on, but then they referred to one that was a year ago. It's just a big mess.
and
We can talk
Nate
about it
wrote
later.
a very polite email
Yeah.
and contacted everybody we could at Facebook, and nothing. It's
No.
just gone.
It's just, yeah. It's
So
not
you
worth the
mentioned,
headache.
oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
You mentioned that you weren't spending millions, so you didn't get that preferential treatment. But if you were, are there different tier levels that Facebook will?
If you
take
spend a
care
lot
of
of
it.
money, then you have a personal person to work with. If you only spend $100,000 in a year, then you're just blowing in the wind. You call their phone number, they give you an email address, it doesn't go anywhere. It just bounces back to you, so you spend a half an hour writing an email that goes nowhere.
So if I have a rep, then
If you have a rep, then you at least have somebody there, but they'll say that they can't do anything about it. They'll get in touch with their supervisor.
okay.
And then you get another response that says this is their final decision.
But don't let this deter you
Okay.
from running Facebook
No.
ads. They're
No.
amazing.
Doesn't deter me.
So going back to the banned kind of accounts, we're from the UK, and we give our affiliates basically a website to use for Facebook to run all their traffic to, or to run the traffic to our website. Is there a danger in having
It's against their terms to do that. That's all I'm going to say.
some multiple users running to one website?
It's probably against their terms to breathe, but
Okay, so everyone would need like a white label.
if it's working, I'm not going to say anything else.
So you're asking if several different people can be running ads to one website?
Yeah, basically. So from
No,
different
with
accounts.
with a work account, with an employer account, right? You're making dummy accounts for your
Yeah, so
employees at work.
basically, if you
Oh.
had your own personal accounts, or affiliates had accounts. So if
Right.
I was at Amazon, and people were running, we all wanted to run traffic to the Amazon affiliate program or so,
Mm-hmm.
or like people would run to ours. would we need to give them multiple domains, or would one domain, would that be an issue?
So you would purchase multiple domains and then have that domain redirect to your site?
No. They would create a Facebook account with that domain
Oh.
for the sole purpose of running ads,
Yes, basically.
right? There's a danger to it. If you all of a sudden, you just start an account today, and then now all of a sudden you're running $10,000 worth of traffic through it, they're going to think something's fishy, and they're going to.
But worst case scenario, they shut it down, and
You have another one? No, we're not.
we would not ever recommend that, by
No.
the way.
That's a lot of headache.
Since he works with affiliate, if he gave his own. Hi,
Whoa.
I'm Robin. I was the largest advertiser with Facebook in Europe in 2010, 11, and 12. And a few comments. I like the gentleman's idea because once you work with affiliates, Facebook hates you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just a fact. And if you give your own domain name and you link directly to that on Facebook, it's very likely to be banned, as affiliate like to employ certain tactics. So I think it is quite a good idea to use different domain names and give that to affiliates, so you avoid your main brand being banned on Facebook.
Mm-hmm. And if you get banned from Facebook, though, it is just banning your ads account. They're not going to shut your pages down. It's just preventing you from running more ads. So don't be worried about your entire Facebook page or account getting shut down.
Well,
My whole family now is a manager of my pages, though, so just in case.
I can mention I have an e-cigarette company in 18 countries, and affiliates used my domain to direct link, and now that brand cannot even be used in a private message between you and I. So there is a huge risk of having your domain banned, and then no private consumer can write that domain in a private message even. So you don't want to get your premium brand banned on Facebook. So use a tracking domain. We use fbtracking.com as a redirect, or that idea, just buy another $9 domain.
And I do want to say, when I say we would not recommend that, I'm saying that with a big wink.
I'm not winking. I don't take the risk.
I wouldn't do it with a client site, but if you're willing to take the risk, then I think it's a good strategy.
So one thing that's very basic and common, but I feel like if there's any beginner in this room, you need to hear this. Your account, your Facebook page can get shut down if you try to run a contest on your Facebook wall. So don't do that. Don't try to cheat
Not
the
anymore.
system. Oh, not anymore?
Nope.
As it,
You can do it. You just can't ask people to share the picture. You can't have a picture.
Better point.
If you like and share or comment, you're entered in. Well, pages have no business knowing everybody who shared that privately. So all you can see are the public shares. But if you run a contest, okay, everybody who likes this post is entered into this contest, then you can do that. And if you use something like short stack, there's 1,000 different things. You can click to pick random entries from a post, and it's real simple instead of loading them all into a spreadsheet and whatnot.
And probably, I think we've mentioned this 100 times, but whatever we say today will probably be different tomorrow. So keep reading those resources.
Yeah, we have to keep talking to each other just to make sure we know everything that's going on.
And several things that Nate said today, I didn't realize were the case. So it just changes a lot.
Any other questions? The microphone's coming there, sir.
So for the affiliate model, is your strategy to send the traffic directly to a sales page, or are you capturing the information, or are you sending people to like your page first, and then what do you do for your strategy?
For my affiliate sites, I build an actual brand and interaction and engagement and build trust and an actual audience, and then I will create a post that's for an affiliate product about once a week, and then get conversions from that organically rather than paying advertising all the time. And then you can run traffic to unknown people to a landing page as well, but just make sure that landing page is already in order.
So when I first set up an affiliate page, I run ads for likes because I want people visiting it to see that social proof that other people like it. Once I've established, it completely depends on what industry, but I get to a point where I feel like, okay, that's enough likes that people are going to see that I have a popular page. If I'm doing it for a company, I do not want just random likes for people who will not necessarily engage, because if I have something like Folgers where I have 1 billion likes but people aren't engaging, then Facebook sees that as I'm not very interesting, so they show my items fewer times on other people's news feeds. So I don't want an unengaged audience. On my affiliate pages, I don't care as much about the audience being that engaged, so I go for social proof. So if I'm working with a company, I probably would use the ads to go to the website, and I would lead them to a specific landing page that was set up for that audience segment. So again, if I'm sending ads to those moms, I would have a landing page on my website that specifically addressed their problems and how I can solve those problems of theirs. And then I would have some sort of email capture on that site. So I hate to answer with it depends on what kind of page you're running, but that's part of it.
It's unfortunate, but you have to read that stupid ad policy like every month because they change everything all the time. But the number one reason you'll get an ad turned down, unless you're running like dating stuff and gambling stuff, is if you use too much text and you look, it's 20% text, and you look at the text in your image like, well, that's obviously less than 20%, and then it gets denied, and you don't know why. It's because they have it set up on a grid, and if one of your letters touches both squares in a grid, that counts that's immediately 10%. So there's a grid tool, Facebook grid tool. Just Google that, and you'll find the image. I download that image and I upload it to every image that I create and overlay it to make sure that my text is in the right positioning, so that I'm below the 20%.
And that's another thing, if you're letting Facebook set the defaults and it's pulling images from your own website and there's text on the website images, then you may get denied for the ad because it can have text on the image, or 20%. Any more questions? How much time do we have left, Nate?
Like 2 minutes.
Oh.
We got 5 minutes left. Da-da.
Nothing else?
Does anybody have an amazing success story? So we don't
You're
talk
not
about
allowed
band
to
accounts
talk.
anymore?
I'm running e-cigarettes on Facebook.
You're running what?
E-cigarettes. That's very successful.
Oh, I'm saying.
I just want to tell you, a lot of things are possible. I'm running e-cigarettes on Facebook in 18 countries, and I think a lot of things are possible if you're a little creative, even without cloaking.
Mm-hmm.
And Facebook don't like affiliates. They want to have the real brands in there. So you have to do a lot of stuff indirect, like targeting a list or building a fan page and getting them on a list, and do a lot of funneling, but it's going very well. We're in 18 countries now.
I do want to. I have one more thought left that I don't think I mentioned before. When I'm talking about setting up the text in ads, I don't try to promote my business. I try to. What did you say? Entertain, educate.
And evoke emotion.
Evoke emotion. So there's. I have a few pages that. I have a whiskey page. And when I set up the page, or when I set up the ads, I would not say, hey, come learn about whiskey. I would say something like, do you like whiskey? So then they feel like when they hit that like button, they're saying, yeah, I like whiskey. I don't care that they think they're liking whiskey as opposed to my brand, because I'm not trying for branding there. I just want their like if they like whiskey.
And you can run that on Mondays at 4:30.
And you saw in one of Shannon's ad, we have a Minion page where we sell Minion stuff with affiliate links, and same thing. I wouldn't say, hey, you're liking this Minion page that is about Minion stuff. I would want the ad to make them think they're saying, yeah, I like Minions, which we do
Everybody likes
a lot.
Minions.
There's also the option to add URL tags when you're creating the ad, so you can see that in your reporting later.
Thank you.
Okay.
One more question.
We're all done. Thanks a lot.
Wait, no,
Oh,
I was
no,
saying
we got
thank
one
you to
more.
him for having one more question.
You got one.
Have you ever run into a situation where your ads were running and then they just stopped? And if so, what did you do to fix it?
Just stopped and were you given a reason?
Well, just when you're an ads manager, you notice that you're no longer showing anywhere and you're not
Well, it's
spending
probably
anywhere.
related to performance. So you can just create a new ad and tweak something.
So that's
Like
your,
it's a good idea every time you make an ad to make at least 3 versions of it and change something about it, and then
Also, it happens to me all the time because they automatically set a budget how much you'll spend. So in case you turn on your ads and forget about them, Facebook is nice about they won't let you just keep spending an insane amount of money. They turn it off after a certain time. So every once in a while, I will realize my Facebook ads are not showing anymore, and I go back in and look, and I've met that limit, and so I have to reset the limit.
what if the limit isn't the issue? Is it?
Then you need new ads.
It happened to me 2 weeks ago, and first I started drinking whiskey. Then I Googled everything I could, and then I had to start over.
yeah, a
Basically,
lot of times it's based on performance. So you have to change something.
So if it is performing, but then it stops, that's probably because people are.
Then I would
saying,
just
"Stop
resubmit
showing me this ad."
I'd rewrite the same ad if you're getting good performance and you notice a decrease. You can recreate that ad again, and it could totally change.
And maybe target a little bit different people.
that was part of my issue. I got a notification that one of the groups that I targeted was no longer available. So I think that may be one of the reasons that I was just a glitch, because they changed something on their end that affected an ad I had currently set up.
But I think it's possible to target specific audiences that don't want to see the ads, so they're clicking, don't show me this, don't show me this, don't show me this, and then your ads stop showing. So I think if you target a little bit different audience, then like Nate said, it may just not happen.
Well, you can look in your reporting for what was working. You can change the default selections to show gender, age, all that good stuff, and then only show it to those groups that it was working with.
Okay, thank you.
I think there's one. Do you have a question?
I just wanted to ask about the actual spending limit. So it's kind of when you hit like a $5,000 spending limit day after day after day, do you know how long or how to get past that limit?
I've just had them automatically lift them for me, but
I've
then they
had
cut
it,
mine to 0 apparently. So.
I've had it happen in days, and I've had it happen in weeks and months. So everything that's happening on there, if your post gets rejected, is somebody. It's not automated. It's somebody looking at it and deciding whether or not to reject it. So
Yeah, no, I'm sorry,
or increase it.
Yeah, I'm talking about the overall. So when you hit your daily spend cap,
Yeah.
so it might start at $100, then it might go to $1,000. It gets reviewed, then you consistently kind of hit to $5,000. Is anyone kind of experienced a cap past that? Or?
Oh, past 5,000 a day?
Yeah.
No, I have not. This gentleman might be able to answer your question, but I'm not sure of his name. Has anybody ever gotten past that $5,000 a day spending limit? Do you
I
know
did
what
because I was a trusted advertiser.
What's the next cap?
It goes up to 10 and 30.
10 and 30. Did you hear that? So the next cap is 10,000, then 30,000 a day. I did want to address really quick the budget for, especially if you're a beginner. Don't worry about these numbers getting thrown around. I have several pages where I run ads for $3 a day, so I'm spending $100 a month on the entire page, and they are great. So if you're a beginner and you're thinking, okay, I want to get into ads, but you're hearing $5,000 a day, I can't handle that. $1 a day is going to get you somewhere. So
It'll get you further than where you were before you ran ads.
I think we're done.
We are done. All right,
Thank
thanks a
you
lot
very
for
much.
attending.